I'm here to be a counterbalance and a coexistence, a cohabitance, if you will. We can share the same space if we're distinguishable enough. You know what I mean? And so they say if two people are thinking alike, then somebody's not thinking. And so therefore, like, I want to encourage that independent and free thinking. You know what I mean? Like, um, and perspective. Within the parameters in which we have to kind of perform in. Um, You know what I mean? So if I can showcase a successful formula at it, then it's proven possible, and would kind of offer um, and more optimistic, open-minded outlook amongst artists and executives alike. So I look at it as A&R and then executive producing, because I really would like to be responsible for the artist that truly leaves this show and becomes a success out on the big stage. You know what I mean? I gotta say, again, just always, it's always a pleasant surprise. So much talent. It's so much talent, in fact, that all of the teams are equally endowed with very talented people. And it makes for great television. It makes for great competition. The spirit of competition, um, and that steel sharpening steel. You know what I mean? Like, like, as long as you can acknowledge that someone else is thorough, in their own, in their own way, then it will um you know stop you from becoming complacent with your own degree of talent. It's more it's more excitement. It's more just intrigue and anticipation. Um, and it's good energy. It feels like really good energy. Some songs start out and they sound familiar, which is great. But it kind of is somewhat of a catch-22 at times, most times, because if it's a song that you're familiar with and that you've grown up with and you're near and dear to it, you don't want to hear somebody butcher the song. So it's like you hear somebody do you know a classic record of like, that took a lot of audacity to even think you could do it. So let me hear what you got. So you end up becoming more critical of it, as opposed to, and I don't know every song. So when I hear something that I've never heard before and somebody's singing it, convincingly enough and truly embodying that song, then and it sounds like theirs, and that's a very attractive too. I mean, I kind of base it on the way that I kind of live in real life. Um, I love who loves me. So it becomes a bit more difficult for me to try to fight and go through the banter, between the coaches about, hey, you should pick me, this, that, or the other. Like, if you didn't come here with a plan, then I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should have a plan. You should have a plan in your personal life. You should have a plan in your real life. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't know what you want to do, then I don't know that I can dictate to you exactly what should be done. But the first advice I would give you is to have a plan, right? So, um, with that being said, I'm just kind of looking for like-mindedness, and you know, most likely if someone sings a song of a certain style and sentiment, you know, most likely we probably are fans of the same people, and then that's a bond that would kind of become something somewhat of a common ground between us, and in that context, I'm not a coach and they're not a contestant. We're peers, we're equals, because we both acknowledge something bigger than the both of us. It's going to be the best because I believe that people are going to be reminded of what that original feeling, to see the cast, the original cast of characters and coaches, you know, um, bringing back that special thing that just kind of, took them by surprise and took them by storm, you know. Um, you're gonna realize that there's no replacement for it. You know what I mean? Like, and I just think you'll be encouraged, to know that we're here and we haven't lost the zeal and the tenacity. You know what I mean? And we still want to be here. You can tell, you'll be able to tell that all of the action is involuntary of why we're here, you know. And again, hopefully the talent says, speaks volumes as well. And what can I say? You can't ask any more than that.